rise by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Roll dice and woes of life, love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motives reflected, off the mirrors and pit quick, grinning from ear to ear, craving and raping the grain, rekindle the flame, closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Monday. Hope everybody's had, a fantastic weekend. I know I did. Got some rest. Hope everybody's got some rest, and hopefully everybody is excited. Got the chance to watch the Olympics. I did not like the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. It was not my favorite thing at all. Was not a happy camper about that, but for the most part, I did like what I saw once the Olympics got going. I don't know if we're going to be joined by my guy Drew Hinthorn and Fusco Drew Picks and Nathan Taylor. They're supposed to be keeping us updated, but all the sports hadn't started yet. What my particular sports have, I'm supposed to be in charge of basketball for women's and men's. The men's took care of business. The women are playing currently against Japan right now in their opening match. So I'm going to talk about that. And then, of course, a little bit about swimming, gymnastics got on. We're going to talk about all that, to get all that going. But first of all, let's talk about basketball in itself and what happened with the USA basketball team, which, of course, they took care of business yesterday against Serbia, 110-84. Got a chance to watch the game yesterday morning. And by the way, if you want to go to YouTube, search the Unpopular Hour of Matt Clark. You can like, subscribe, hit notifications. And then what we'll do is every time if you want to comment about what I'm talking about, or if you have some questions to ask, please by all means do that. And I'll be happy to talk to you about whatever it is that you are wanting to discuss. So will my guy Drew Hinthorn and Nathan Taylor if they come on, and also Ben Dillman. I don't know if they will, but if they do, great. If not, we'll go right along and get the show processed. But anyway, the USA took care of business 110-84. Kevin Durant was KD. He was that man. LeBron's doing what he does, just bullying and doing what he needed to do to make sure the USA won. I was just going to say KD, wow. I mean, he is an absolute monster. There wasn't anything they could do with him. And it's just nice watching him go and be him. And we were talking about it yesterday, that how Oklahoma City Thunder let him go, picked Russell Westbrook over him. I still don't understand it. I just don't get it. I really don't. And it's so funny as the fans in Oklahoma City are so pissed at KD, and I'm not mad at him at all. I completely understand why he did what he did. I don't blame him for doing what he did. The only thing is that the fact that he acted like he led Oklahoma City to think that he was going to sign and didn't. I think that was trying to F you to the organization, I believe. But he was pissed off because they picked Russell Westbrook over him. And he acted the way he acted because of he's Kevin Durant. But no one will deny what he does on the basketball court, what he's able to do. 5 for 5 from three, just 21 points for the first half. In 9 minutes, was it 21 points in 9 minutes or whatever it was something stupid. He gets rolling, and we've seen him go like that. I remember the Commander and I were watching a game, and we knew he was gone. He made like 4 straight threes, kind of what he did in the game yesterday. And then when he walked out, Billy Donovan was the first-year coach, and Billy Donovan pulled him out in the midst of him rolling and doing what he was doing. And Billy Donovan being a first-year coach, being a college coach, oh, I'm going to run this team and I'm going to do it the way I did it. Well, Kevin Durant just walked by him. He tried to touch him. He put his hand in his face like, get the hell away from me. Now, Billy Donovan being a seasoned coach would never do that now. But once again, that's one of the problems when you bring up a coach that's inexperienced and doesn't understand the NBA process. What are they going to do? They're going to make a mistake like that. And it cost them. It flat out cost them. And we were sitting there looking at it, we're like, man, he's gone. The commander and I were like, he's gone. Right then and there, because you could tell he was pissed, and he just said, to hell with this, I'm done. And he sure as hell was. And that's exactly what happened. And to me, it was frustrating to me to be able to watch that, because I'm just going, KD, Billy Donovan, I'm like, what are you doing? The man is on a roll. You don't take him out because you feel like I'm the head coach and you're going to, you're going to dominate. No, you let the man, he's on a roll. You let him keep going. And that's what Steve Kerr did, but he was putting him on the minutes. But, you can see the players just getting all fired up and the crowd getting fired up. And I knew when he came down in transition and pulled up from three, kind of what he did against Cleveland when he was at Golden State, and then we saw it many times in Oklahoma City. It was unbelievable. I'm like, this dude right here is ridiculous. KD is ridiculous. He is the man. So anyway, USA rolled. The game was pretty close for the most part. Jokic was doing what Jokic does, and especially against Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, in the system of what we're doing or trying to do here for our team, for the USA team, it doesn't seem like he, excuse me, he really fits with what we're doing. And you can see I've got my USA jersey on there my USA shirt along with my jersey and my warm-up in the background. But anyway, watch, it's just like the ball goes to him and it sticks. It doesn't flow. And now you can see where they're trying to get him passes and try to get him involved because they need him. Because the guys like him, if he's not scoring, he's not big of a willing defender. And Jokic just abused him. But I also, I don't know, we were talking as the game was going on yesterday. I say every time Jokic got the ball, we didn't double team him, but whenever they forced him into where a defender was, they got the hand on the ball and forced Jokic to really be hard to score. But Jokic is a beast. I was listening to someone earlier, and they were talking about how he was the best player in the league for 3 years in a row. No, the first MVP he won, he should not have won. Giannis should have won his third in a row. The second MVP that he won, that's the one that Embiid should have won. And then his last MVP that he did not win, that's the one he deserved. But to me, you can't be fifth player. Your team can't be fifth or sixth and you win the MVP. How the hell are your team was fifth or sixth and you win MVP? I don't agree with that. I don't think, no. And to me, it should have been Embiid, and it should have been the year before that, should have been Giannis. He should have had one. He shouldn't have three. He should have one. But once again, I'm not one of these voters and these guys getting all that, that nonsense. I believe players should vote for the NBA player, the most valuable player. I don't think media should vote for him. I don't think media should vote for a Hall of Fame. I think players should vote for that. I just don't like the Hall of Fame stuff, because you got all these guys, Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. You got guys that are in the Hall of Fame. We were talking about that. They were like, how the hell is he in there? He wasn't the best player ever. How are you in the Hall of Fame and you never were a best player on your team except in high school, on your team? After that, you were not the best player ever. Not on your college team, barely made it NBA. Really? And you are in the Hall of Fame. Once again, it's about the Hall of Fames mainly it's like Derek Jeter, and I gripe about this, and I'm going to always gripe about it. How the hell is he not a unanimous Hall of Famer? And there's only been one in baseball, and that's Mario Rivera, which is stupid. Mickey Mantle, how do you not vote him as a Hall of Famer? Joe DiMaggio, Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, either you are a Hall of Famer or you're not. There's no first and second team. There's a think about it. And like Deion Sanders always says about football, there should be guys there should be a separate room, and they do say the upper room now. But I agree with him. To me, when I say certain people's name, Hall of Fame. First ballot. First ballot. It's like Terrell Owens. Do I like his attitude off the field? No. But see, a first ballot Hall of Famer, 100% of what he did on the field. If you're making that man wait because you don't like him because you don't like his antics off the field, I mean, seriously? The NFL Hall of Fame is the National Football League Hall of Fame. What did you do on the field of play? Barry Bonds, Hall of Famer in baseball. Even though the steroids thing, nothing was ever proved. He never got in trouble, never was indicted, they didn't find one evidence of him whatsoever except his head size got bigger. So they used that as an excuse not to put him in the Hall of Famer. But Roger Clemens, he was a Hall of Famer before all that happened. Hall of Famer before it all happened, Barry Bonds. I just don't like the way that things are laying down. I just don't like it. I don't like Kobe Bryant. How the hell did he not win the MVP? I mean, it's to me, the media, these people, they have a lot of power, and they did not play. The 90% of them, 80% of them didn't play. To me, you don't get the right to judge somebody else who played because you feel like you're going to, if you didn't like them or how they talk to you or whatever, you're going to use that against them. You're going to use it against them. Now, to me, like I said, Derek Jeter, one guy didn't vote for him. And then you're not going to even step up to tell everybody why. Oh, I don't need to. It's my vote. I can do what I want. We should know. And if you had a reason for saying no, you should let everybody know this is why I said it. This is why I voted no for him. This is why I didn't vote him in the Hall of Fame. Why can't you do that? Because you're a punk. Because you didn't have the real reason for voting Derek Jeter out of the Hall of Fame. You don't really have a reason. You don't. It's a joke. And when I look at all of this stuff, and that's what I'm sorry I went on a rant about Jokic, but to me, if you ask the players, they're the ones should have the final vote. They should because they know. Listen, I know who could play and who can't, especially in basketball. You know if somebody can play or not. There's nowhere to hide. There's only 5 of y'all out there. Ben Dillman, High State Carrick. We're talking about hockey is probably another sport that you know if somebody's better than you because there's a bunch of y'all out there. You know because you're playing. You know somebody's better than you. You know. There's no question he's better than you. And so that frustrates the hell out of me in this whole thing. But once again, Drew and I have a bet on the USA team. And I'm just going to tell you, they looked very focused. They played South Sudan. When did they play South Sudan? Wednesday. They played South Sudan Wednesday. So that's going to be a good game. Let me pull that back up so we can have that down here so we can know exactly when they play. Okay, so that'll be Wednesday at 2 o'clock. They'll be playing South Sudan. So we'll get to see that. And Serbia will be playing Puerto Rico that day. So we'll get to see that and see how that lays out and what's going to happen with that. So, but in the other basketball things, South Sudan beat Puerto Rico 80-79. So Serbia will play Puerto Rico. USA will play South Sudan. And then, of course, Canada beating Greece. And that man, SGA, that man, he is that man. The game was within one. He just took over and they tried to come at him with a double team, and his step back hesitation floater over Giannis for the bucket to put them up for good. He's just special. And the Thunder, we're lucky to have that guy. We're lucky to have him on our team. And he's just a beast. And then, of course, France and Brazil, 78-66. Wemby was fantastic, 19 points. He's getting better and better and better, and he is really that unicorn because everybody was saying that Chet was a unicorn. Once I saw him playing Summer League, I'm like, that guy's not a unicorn. He don't have the handles. You're full of it. And now I know again why the Orlando Magic did not take him number 1 overall. They asked his player who played with him in high school, who played with him in college, and said, should we take him? And he said, no. That's what happened. But anyway, France took care of business. It was a good game between them and Brazil. I watched the highlights of it and that. So, but when you look at next up, I think Canada and France play next, and then Greece and Brazil. I need to check that and see what the schedule actually is for that. But cannot wait to see those two go at it, and it just shows how lucky we are here in Oklahoma City. Very rarely you look at the Green Bay Packers. You go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and then maybe Jordan Love is going to be who he is. We're going to wait and see. And then you got Oklahoma City Thunder, where you go from SGA and Westbrook and Harden and Ibaka to now you've got SGA, J-Dub, Chet. I mean, and then now Kaysen coming in there too. So, I mean, you look at that, how lucky are we? And because when you watch SGA go to work, he's just unbelievable. He is absolutely unbelievable. And to watch him just play and know that we get to see him, that is our player. 2 times, back to back, first team All NBA, runner up MVP. We get to see him on a daily basis. How lucky are we as fans to be able to see and watch this man do work? And yesterday I wish you guys go back and you can go to YouTube and search the highlights. He is just phenomenal. He started the game off, got them rolling. Then everybody else started playing, and then he came up at the end. Jamal Murray did his thing. R.J. Barrett did his thing. And then, of course, I'm not going to mention his name, but he did some stuff there as well. But just watching him go to work, he's just beautiful. And at the end of the game, I'm just going to tell you, we're down to or up to with a minute something to go, the move that he made, that step back, hesitation, and crossover, teardrop over Giannis, he's really, really good. And I hope everybody realizes how lucky we are. So that was the men's bracket and what happened in that. And like I said, Wednesday, USA versus Sudan, Serbia versus Puerto Rico. And so that's going to be good. And what I need to do, let me do this. Let me see if I can find this real quick. See if we can find the okay, here's that. Let's pull this up and see what we can do for this. Let me see. Okay, July 30th. Canada goes against Australia. Is this men's? Yeah, Canada, Australia, Spain goes against Greece. So Canada and Australia go for that. Dang, why did I miss that? How did I get Canada and France? That's weird. But anyway, you got Canada and Australia going against each other, and Spain and Greece. So Canada will play Australia. I don't know why did they play Brazil? Okay, France is in a different group. Okay, there we go. I was like wondering what the hell's going on. So it's Brazil, Germany, France, and Japan in one bracket, and then Canada and Australia will go in the other bracket with Greece. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay. So Canada will be Australia, Spain and Greece will play Greece. So there we go. Okay, that makes sense. Now that makes total sense. Okay, I got that. Okay. Because that was bugging me for just a second there. I was like, that makes 0 sense to me on how that worked. Let me see, because Spain beat China by 1. Oh, that's women's. Let me see. Okay, here we go. France beat Brazil, but let me see. Group A, like I said, Canada beat Greece and Australia. Okay, I didn't have Australia on here. So Australia beat Spain by 12. So, wow. Okay, cool. That's going to be interesting. See, I need to keep that. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't have that on there. So, Josh Giddey's team won. So, that's a good thing. So, we've got on the 30th, which is tomorrow, we've got Spain against Greece, and we have Canada against Australia. So, we'll have to watch that game, and that's on at 6:30. So I'll be able to watch that game and watch SGA do his work. And then, of course, in women, the USA women are playing currently right now. And let me see if I can catch up the score. The USA is against Japan are up 22-18 to start the first quarter. And Japan is holding their own against us at this point. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. I think the USA is talented and the USA will take over. But as it stands right now, USA team is only up 4. They missed again, a shot again, but we're rebounding. Another miss. And so, I'm gonna have to go back and watch that and see how that pans out, because we need to handle our business with them, because they are tough, and so that's gonna be interesting to see how that works. And I know we'll be able to be fine. But anyway, France beat Canada 75-54. Germany took care of Belgium 83-69. Australia lost to Nigeria, and then Serbia beat Puerto Rico, and then of course USA are playing. The women are playing right now. Our women, and we are up 4 right now. So we'll see how that's going to stand up. But that being said, I was hoping that Drew was going to come on today, because he has that thing that he thinks that we're going to lose and we're not going to win the gold medal. I think that's completely different, because, like I said, everybody has not seen KD up at to this point, and I believe KD is the difference maker. I believe he's going to make a difference in how we play, the way we look at it, how our team is structured, and all that. So I do believe that the USA is going to take care of business in basketball, and KD is probably going to be the greatest basketball Olympic player, because this will be his 4th Olympics that he's won, and right now I think he's tied with Carmelo, so this will be his 4th that he's won, which puts him up there. So I'm very excited about KD. I'm very excited about this team, and like I said, to me, my starting 5 right now is Magic at the point, Michael at the 2, and then LeBron is going to be my 3rd, but I also have Larry Bird and Dr. J playing that 3rd position, my 3rd position, and then 4 would be, oh my God, Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett, and then KD. But when it's all said and done, I'm going to have KD as my 4th, and then Kareem is my 5th guy. And then, like I said, it probably would have been Shaq, the most dominant big man in history, but he just didn't do it long enough, because he wanted to be a rapper and he wanted to do all this other stuff, and he wasn't 100% committed to basketball. If he was, he would be out. He would be my number 1 guy at all. But if you only do it, if you're only dominant for a 5 or 6 year period, I can't give you the love. I can't put you up there. So that's why Shaq is not my number 5. But that being said, that I'm going to move KD in there, and he will be in my top 10, which is Michael, Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Wilt, LeBron, Larry Bird, Tim Duncan. Like I said, Kevin Durant will be in there, Dr. J, and then putting Kevin Durant in there at 10. And, I get beat up about how Steph Curry should be at 10. And like I said, here, and I've said this a bunch of time ad nauseum, to be the greatest of all time, okay, which is why Tom Brady is not the greatest of all time to me, you have to do whatever your career was. You have to be able to do that career in any era. Whatever you did, your numbers have to do that in any era. LeBron, I can't put him in there because he is not going to be playing 20 years back in the day. I cannot put Steph Curry in there because he's too small and nobody's going to let him. They're going to be able to hold him and push him and knock him down. He's not going to be able to get his shot off like he does now. He's still going to be a good player. He's still going to do his thing, but he's not going to do what he does now. Stop from him being the greatest shooter ever in a way. Then Tom Brady, he's not going to play 20 years in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. It's not going to happen. He's not playing 60s through the 80s. He's not playing 70 through the 90s. He's not playing the 80s through 2000. It's not happening. It's not. He's not going to have 20 years. His body is not, because he doesn't have the referees protecting him like they do now. And if those quarterbacks back then had the same protections that these quarterbacks do now, then those numbers would have been different. Those numbers have been more if they passed the ball more than like they do now, which is why Marino's numbers are so outrageous. But that's how I put when I put my list together. That's how I do it. I do it based on what could you do in any era. Not in this era, but any era. If you're the greatest of all time, no matter when you played, whatever your numbers are, it's going to be your numbers. Because you are the greatest. You are the greatest of all time. The GOAT. Michael Jordan's numbers would be better than where they were back then because you can't hold him, you can't grab him, you can't push him, you can't shove him, you can't beat him up. So his numbers are going to be greater than they are now. So that's why I laugh at these people. I'm like, you people come up with all this nonsense, and you can't. I don't like to cross errors because to me, it's different in football, especially basketball. Yes, baseball. It is because the ball is livelier now than it was then. But pitchers pitched, 9, 10, 11, 12 innings. Then they pitch, 5, 6 innings now, and then they get relieved, the middle reliever, the closer, all of that stuff. Back then, you pitched and you either pitched a complete game or you had somebody come in the 8th inning and take over. So to me, it's just not the same. And I get it because they want the athletes to play longer, and fans are coming because of players, not because of teams. And back then, I don't know if it was any different. People came because of the team. Yeah, they had their favorite players, but you're supporting the team. It's like me, the commander, and Mark Long at SRB and YNB. Randy Wright, the commander from YNB, and Mark Long from SRB. We'd go to games, and there's 8,000 of us, and we'd sit there and we had just as much fun watching the team. And that's when I started doing my show, was when we were terrible 2.5 years ago. And I started watching Josh and SGA click. And I saw something different. And then the next year, I saw what we were doing, and that's why I predicted what we did. Then the following year, which was this past year, from last year, I saw the elevation of J-Dub and what was happening, and I predicted more. Now, this year, we're going to do the show, and then we're going to talk about the over-under and all that and how it's 54.5 games, which is it's a lot of damn games. But with the addition of Caruso and Hartenstein, we should. But once again, our coach has to understand lineups. Our coach has to understand flow of the game. Now, whether he's going to do that or not, I don't know. We shall see. So, that being said, we're going to come back the second half of the show, and we're going to talk about we're going to take a break here, and we're going to come back after the break. And we're going to talk more about the Olympics and everything else that's going on, like swimming. I'm going to do those guys, Joe. We're talking about swimming and, how great we did. We're going to talk about the overall medal count. In fact, let's just go ahead and do the overall medal count now so you can kind of see where we are for the medals. Right now, South Korea has 5 golds, 3 silvers, 1 bronze for 9 total medals. Japan has 5 gold medals, 2 silver, 4 bronze for 11 total medals. China, 5 gold medals, 2 silver, 2 bronze, and 9 total medals. France, 4 golds, 7 silvers, 3 bronze for 14 total. And then, of course, we are coming in with 3 golds, 7 silver, 4 bronze for 14 total. And when I look at this, guys, I was like, okay, we're 14. And, of course, track and field hadn't started, so these numbers are going to dramatically change. Okay. Right now we're doing swimming, and I know the men is coming up. Swimming is coming up pretty soon. And, in fact, so we'll see how that's going to work. So, anyway, we'll come back after the break, and then we'll go over those numbers so you can kind of see all of that, okay? So I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. SRB, if you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit those guys up. They love to be behind the scenes and give you everything that you need as far as if you're building a new complex, they can lay it out for you and let you know exactly what's going on with that. If you need to have a dam or you have a water treatment plant for your city or for your county, they can come in and fix it, make sure that's all great. Collaborative Logic, if you have needs for computers, software to make your office run smoother, they can help you with that, as well as I'm sorry, somebody's bugging me. As well as website design. They did our website at MC Sports Network, which you can also go to if you need to. You can go to MC Sports Network and by all means pull that up and you can watch any of our past episodes. Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro. If you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand, hit my boy up. He'd love to be behind the scenes and take care of you on that. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. Love those guys. Appreciate everything they do. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. You can go into the main bank at 401M, which is 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. I hope I said that, Drew. I don't want to mess up your thing. YB East, which is off the Parkway in 66. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, Garth Brooks, and I-40, 215 steps from I-40 there at the Garth Brooks exit. Can't miss it. And then, of course, YMB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, located 4609 Southeast 29th, Dale City, Oklahoma, 405-670-2424. Open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Fridays 9 to 1, closed Saturdays and Sundays. Probably serving the Middale area since 1982. 1982. My guys over there hooked them up. They love to get with you guys. So one thing that, we have talked about the Olympics and what's going on, and we're going to talk about the top quarterbacks. But when you look at the medal count and what is going on with the Olympics, I'm going to bring that back up here in just a second so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. When you look at, where is it? Oh, man. Here we go. Sorry, I messed that up. Okay, when you look at the country and you look at our medal count, we have 3. And, of course, we're watching swimming. And, man, I tell you what, the fight between us and Australia in the pool has been great. And remember, Japan doing their Olympics, China doing their Olympics, they had 23 swimmers who were I don't know what's the word. They had been cheating. They had tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. 23. And at the same time, they still got to swim. Why? Because they were in China, and China wanted to win. And then now I look at this year, how many of those swimmers, I think it was 10 of them that tested positive that were back. To me, it's like, I don't know how I really feel about it. I mean, Nathan and I talked about it the other day, and it's just kind of hard because I think people have always cheated. I believe that if you take the drugs, you've always cheated. But it's always usually the people who have to catch up and get to that next level, and they're not quite there athletically. And the performance-enhancing drugs help them get to where they cannot go physically on their own. And then you do have the people like I said, Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and stuff like that, who were both Hall of Famers before that happened. But once again, Barry Bonds, there was never any evidence. He never got caught. He was never accused, never arrested, nothing. And I promise you they looked into him. And nothing was ever found that he had used any performance drugs. Hadn't used any of them, performance-enhancing drugs. Roger Clemens, of course, got caught. And, of course, Rodriguez got caught and a bunch of guys got caught. But when I look at it, how are they still in it? Who does that? Does the Olympic people do that? Do we do that? The IBC, who does that? The Olympic Committee, who goes out and tests these people? And if they get tested positive, they shouldn't be playing. That's kind of how I look at it, plain and simple. And when you look at us versus Australia in this pool, and I think Australia has 4 gold medals. I believe they have 1 more than we do. And it was just great watching the men's medley relay and how we just came back and done that. We came back and won that. So how the women fought back and won the 400, the 4x200. Watch that. Katie Ledecky doing what she does. And then, of course, we had the 2 rookies, one on the beginning and one on the end, both handling their business to win the gold medal just outside the world record. But I mean, swimming is one of my favorite things. I do love swimming. I do love watching swimming. I love how we compete in those areas, and I loved what I was seeing from us and how we did what we needed to do. So I was excited about that. On the other side, though, it's kind of hard because, you get frustrated with other people and you think, how are we not doing better? How are we not doing more, that we should be doing more, and that we have the ability to do better. So to me, I look at that and I want us to. I mean, swimming. I it's kind of like NBA basketball, or kind of like basketball. The sports that we dominate, I love for us to dominate. But I do love the fact that when you have competition and you really have to show who you really are to win the medal, which is what's happened in swimming. Well, between us, Japan, Australia, Great Britain, we have to really struggle, Canada. We have to really struggle against them to win. Basketball, back when the Green Team, which they keep bringing that up, well, this is totally different times of sports. It's two totally different eras. The Dream Team is the one inspired all these Olympic teams to have NBA players. What is there, 61 or 66 NBA players that are playing in the Olympics in basketball? So all this has done is, to me, has made all this more fun to watch. And it just really shows you what your players are capable of. I mean, now you're playing against guys. You know that you got to come with your A game. You can't just go through it, because back then in '92, those guys probably could have slept walk and still ran through some teams. Now you can't. And you look at the women's basketball deal and how we dominate in women's basketball, kind of like what we did men's. They're getting ready to go for their 8th straight gold medal, breaking the men's record of 7. And of course, remember, 72 is when the men's record got broken because of the USSR, not Russia, but the USSR, when they had Serbia, when they had all these other countries all combined into one to make the USSR, the Soviet Union. When they had that group and they won in 72, which of course was a farce. And by the way, the great Henry Iba, former guy at Oklahoma State, former coach at Oklahoma State, he was the coach of that team. And I remember that game. Now I remember going, why are they replaying? What is this about? How are they doing that? And we lost, and that's the only medal that has never been picked up. And that silver medal will never be picked up because we got robbed, 100%. But you got to remember, the times are different now. Nobody wants to go back to the way that things used to be. It's the way that things are, the way that things will be in the future. No, nobody wants to go backwards. Let's go forward. And when you look at that, and it forced us to, then we go in 76 we win, 80 we win, 84 we win. We didn't win in 80 because I won the, what you see right here, that jersey and that, and my warm-up top were from the 79 Junior World Games that we won the gold medal. And then in 1980, of course, Jimmy Carter did not let the USA basketball team go to the Soviet Union to play because of politics. And I talked about that with Nathan the other day. To me, sports, politicians, get your ass out of sports. Keep your ass over in politics, and you're screwing up our life enough as it is with all this other stuff. Keep your ass out of sports. Because of the simple fact that when you look at what sports is and what it means to what it means to everything, what it means to us as a country, what it means to these people who spend 4 years dedicating themselves to one single thing to win a gold medal. 4 years for 1 2-minute, 15-second, whatever, 10 seconds, whatever it is, whether it's the 100, whether it's the 200, whether it's the whatever it is. They spend 4 years getting ready for the one thing, and you take it away because of politics. Politics is politics. Keep your ass out of that. That's how I feel about it. I don't think you should do that. But once again, we lost the 1980 because we didn't go. And then now the women have won 7 in a row. This will be their 8th. But the question is this the best team that we ever had? Should Caitlin Clark be on the team? I think she would generate more eyes, and we talked about this before. When back in the day, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, there was all the games were tape delayed, so guys could play in the NBA Finals and go home and watch it. Then Magic and Bird changed that. Michael Jordan made it global. Caitlin Clark has taken that and made it global. Now that allows you to get access to the other. And Angel Reese does her thing. I'm not discounting her, but she's not on the same level as they are, as Caitlin Clark is. She's she's a catalyst, but Caitlin Clark's here, Angel Reese, and everybody else is down here. Nobody's gonna go watch anything because of Angel Reese. She's not gonna move the needle. If Angel Reese is not on the Olympic team, so what? Caitlin Clark's on the Olympic team. That brings more eyes to the Olympics. It brings more eyes to the girls. It gives them a more of a global exposure. It gives them the ability to make more money globally, even though women's basketball is a lot more global than men's because a lot of the NBA girls, women, make more money over in playing for the European than they do here. Whereas you make some money there, but in NBA basketball is the exact opposite. All of them are trying to get over here. And then these women are trying to bring the WNBA on the same level as it is overseas, and it's just not there yet. And what Caitlin Clark would do is bring more eyes, they're bringing more money. Now, all of a sudden, last year they were griping about how, they had to wait in airports and wait for flights and all this. Now they don't have to do that anymore. They got chartered flights. Why? Because of her. So would this team have benefited from her? Sure. Would it have added more pressure? Probably. She's probably thankful that she's not playing because she doesn't have as much pressure and she gets the rest. And there was a great point made about Caitlin is the fact that she hasn't had a day, really hadn't had time off since, and it's been a whole year because remember, she in WNBA, you go straight from college to the pros. You have what, a month off? And whereas NBA, you have way more than that. So that's the difference, and I feel sorry for her, and she probably it probably is a good thing that she did make the team, and I think she's probably happy because of the simple fact there's less pressure on her. She gets to rest her body. So I'm sure she's probably grateful that she's not on the team. But us as a country, we probably would have loved to have her, even though she probably played a little bit. And unlike Jason Tatum, who did not play at all the other day, which we didn't even address, which I didn't address, I think that Caitlin would have to play. Plus, she's a guard, so she would have had to play. On the other side, Jason Tatum not playing, how did that affect the team? Not at all. Does that affect Jason? Probably hurts his ego, the fact that he didn't get it in at all. But on the other side of that, where were you going to put him? So, but back to the women winning the USA. This will be their 8th medal, breaking the record. And once again, I'm over these people comparing women's sports to men's sports. Stop it. They're not the same. Stop it. I'm all for women's rights. I'm all for the movement of women. I'm all for them getting better. I have 6 sisters. Why the hell am I not going to be for women? That's dumb. But stop comparing women's sports to men's sports. They're not the same. They're different. I was tired of them comparing UConn to beating UCLA's record. Totally different. Totally different. They're the greatest winning. They have the greatest record in women's basketball. Not, you can say basketball, but no, you can't. Caitlin Clark to Pistol Pete Maravich, all that. Stop all that nonsense. Stop it. It wears me out. It really, really does. I'm just tired of it. And, anyway, I've said my piece on that. And it is what it is. But I'm so over it. I really, really am. So, but anyway, the women's basketball, let's go look and see what they're doing right now. I'm sure they're back up. Can't see it right now, so let me go back to my deal because I don't know what it is at this point. I'm gonna go back and try to get the scores. So anyway, in NFL news, let's move on and get to that, and I'll come back and get it as soon as I can to get back to the, But in NFL news, there were some contracts. Tua and Jordan Love both signed their contracts, and we're gonna do that in just a second. Let's just go ahead and go to it. Here are the new contracts that have been signed, Jordan Love and Tua. And I love how this is broken down, and that's why I chose to do the graphic, because I like how this is broken down. It's the quarterback's name, the team, average yearly salary, the number of starts, their record, playoff record, their rating, TD to interception ratio, and Super Bowls. Okay? So this is the thing. So Trevor Lawrence is number one, $55 million a year. He's had 50 starts, He's 20-30, 1-1 in the playoffs, 85% passer rating. It's this. This is just insane. It really is insane. He's 58-39 as far as TDs to interceptions, and he has 0 Super Bowls. Second highest paid quarterback is Joe Burrow of the Bengals, $55 million. He's had 52 starts. He's 29, 22, and 1. He's 5-2 in the playoffs. He's got a 98% passer rating. He's got 97 touchdowns, 37 interceptions, 0-1 in the Super Bowl. And you go down to Jordan Love, who just signed Friday, which I thought was interesting. They did it on Friday when the Olympics were starting. Let's dump this so we don't have to deal with it. Kind of cute, kind of funny. Jordan Love of the Packers, $55 million. Okay? He's 9-9, 18 starts, 94% passer rating, 35-14. Tua, 53.1 million, 51 starts. Okay? He's 32-19. 32-19. And he's got a better record than the other two guys. Now, he's got a 97.1 passer rating and 81-37 TDs, TD and interceptions. Then Jared Goff, 53, and it goes all the way down, and Herbert, Lamar, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, Deshaun, Kirk Cousins, and then here's Mahomes. He's making $45 million. He's got 96 starts. Okay? 96 starts. He's 74-22. So think about this. Joe Burrow has 22 losses and 1 tie. Patrick Mahomes has 22 losses. Patrick Mahomes has 45 more wins. Okay? And he's got 42 more starts. And he has the same number of losses. Same number of losses. His playoff record is 15-3. Joe Burrow's the only one up here with a decent, is only one here with the winning record of 5-2. His quarterback rating is 103.5. The closest person to him is Deshaun Watson, who hadn't played in forever. And Deshaun Watson, 118-45. Patrick Mahomes, 219-63. 219-63. And he's 33-1 in Super Bowls. And he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's the 12th highest paid quarterback in NFL. He's 3-1 in the Super Bowl. Has 103.5 passer rating. 15-3 in the playoffs. And you've got guys, these other guys are for them making more money than him. It's amazing, huh? It makes no sense. I'm like, next man up, crap. I mean, the next man up, fine, but you got to make me some money. You got to win some games for me. I mean, look at this. Trevor Lawrence, 20-30 is his record. Joe Burrow, 29-55, 29-22. Jordan Love, 9-9, 32-19 Tua, 66-50 Jared Goff, 30-32 Herbert, 58-19 Lamar, which is the only other one that you can legitimately say, yeah, he's better, that he deserves to make money. Okay? It's just amazing to me. I just don't get it. I really don't understand it at all. I just don't understand it. I mean, somebody needs to help me. I mean, next man up. Well, it's just the market is what the market is. I mean, think about this. Dak Prescott over $60 million, and 78% of the Cowboy fans don't think he deserves it, and think between him, Micah Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb in 5 years, who would they most want on the team, think that they'll be there, and he was picked last of the 3. And I hear these former players, and they say things, and I listen to them, and I'm saying, listen, it is next man up. The market is what the market is. I get it. But how are you as a general manager, and your job is to win games? How is it okay for you to pay this man a bunch of money when you know it's going to make your team less talented because you can't pay everybody? And here's the guy who's winning with players who came off the practice squad. Remember, he beat Joe Burrow with practice squad wide receivers. Do you think Joe Burrow can beat anybody without Jamar Chase and without Higgins? No, he did. He beat him with a bad ankle and won the Super Bowl and beat Jalen Hurts. And all of those guys make more money than he does. Now, Mahomes is like Brady, like, give me enough money to make me don't, let me make some money. But yet, I need you to pay my wide receiver. I need you to pay my running back. I need you to pay Chris Jones. I need you to pay the guys. I'll make less money because I'm going to make way more off the field, but winning is what's going to make me money off the field. Winning is going to what makes my record be, and I'm chasing Tom Brady 7 Super Bowls. And if he wins 3 in a row, what does that mean? Not a whole lot to me. That means he's done something nobody else did except win three straight, which is Bart Starr for Green Bay, because they did win 3 straight titles, and everybody else tries to deny that, but they won 3 in a row. And now the ones won 3 Super Bowls, which is different, but they won 3 in a row. So you need to stop. So he'll be the first quarterback since Bart Starr, who is on my list of one of the best quarterbacks of all time, simply because of what he did, and he does not get the love for that. So that bothers me a little bit there. So, but I think you got to go back. You got to look at that. Hold on a second. Let me go back and let's see if we can get the women's score and see what they're doing. Because remember, they were only up 3. Why can't I get the score? I can't seem to get the women's basketball score. Every time I turn on this stupid thing, it does not have my women's score on there for whatever reason. I don't know why that is. I keep coming back to it, and all I get is a stupid. I get a commercial every single time. I don't know what the deal is with that. We need to fix that. But anyway, maybe somebody can text me or somebody can let me know what the score is. I'm hoping it's going to pop on. I have it right here. I'm kind of waiting for it to come on while I talk to y'all before I get off the air to see what the women are doing. But like I said, 8 championships, that's fine. But stop comparing women to men's. Now, team sports, yeah, they're going to have 8 over the men's 7. And we talked about why. Okay? So, that being said, I'm not going to be on my soapbox today. I'm not getting on my high horse. I'm not going to do all that, even though I'm tempted to go there. So, but I am excited. Okay, here we go. Finally, we got Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner, and they're pushing these. Oh, okay. Halftime, we're up 50-39 women. So I don't think that there's going to be any question on. I don't think there's going to be any question on whether we win or not the gold medal. And I think they're going to win their 8th and lead all teams in team sports with 8 straight. I don't see them losing anytime soon, even though, once again, the women's sports are getting just like the men's, where basketball, where people are starting to catch up. But I like competition. I love the fact that you can compete against each other. I love that, okay? I think that's great. Let's continue to do that, and let's continue to build that up. Let's continue to foster that. Let's continue to make that better. That's kind of how I feel about it. So, but anyway, that's all I have for today. We're going to come back. We've got to do our Thunder Show and get that done. So I'm looking forward to making that happen. So I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Try to stay out of trouble and be good. Okay? Everybody else be sweet, be nice.